We've never seen Connor Bedard like this ever before. Imagine being 19 years old, hailed as the future of hockey, and suddenly finding yourself at the center of a media storm. Well, that's the reality for Connor Bedard. The face of the Chicago Blackhawks is now facing criticism from some of the biggest names in NHL media. Let's rewind to June 2023. The anticipation was through the roof as the Chicago Blackhawks held the first overall pick in the draft. They obviously selected Bedard, a player many dubbed as a generational talent. His junior career was nothing short of spectacular. Playing for Regina in the WHL, Bedard had an insane 143 points in 57 games during 2022-23. His performance at the World Juniors just solidified further that he was going to be absolutely insane, and he helped lead Team Canada to a gold medal, setting the record for the most points by a Canadian in a single tournament. As that season finished, expectations for Bedard were monumental. Fans and analysts alike drew comparisons to players like Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby. The company Bedard was being put in was insane, and the pressure was even more intense. But Bedard seemed to embrace it with open arms. It didn't take long for Bedard to settle into the NHL. He recorded an assist in his first game, and over his first 20, he had 25 points, which led all rookies and had him ranked among the NHL's elite scorers. His offense was insane, and his shot was becoming known around the league as one of the very best. But while Bedard's individual performance was unreal, the Blackhawks as a team faced significant challenges. This was expected, obviously, though. The Blackhawks were a rebuilding team, and they have parted ways with longtime stars like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. The departure of these two and the entrance of Bedard marked the beginning of a new era, and everybody expected there to be some growing pains at the start. The biggest issues plaguing this team was the defensive lapses as well as the lack of depth scoring. Despite Bedard's awesome start in the NHL, he often found himself on the losing end, leading to understandable frustrations. In interviews last season, you could see Bedard saying things like, "It's been a learning experience. Every game presents new challenges, and while it's tough not getting the results we want, it's about growth and building towards the future." The results weren't there, but Bedard clearly understood the process of a rebuilding team. But this season, the tone has completely changed. Recently, Bedard has found himself in a bit of media controversy with guys like Mark Messier and Paul Bissonnette. Messier commented on Bedard's play, stating, "There's no quicker way to destroy the morale of a team than to have players who don't earn their ice time." They then highlight a single play where they mention that it's a choice, and this is a consequence for a young player there. He's right on Reinhardt, it's a 50-50 battle, he's soft on his stick, and I'm sorry, the excuses for a young player are over now. He has to be better than that. Paul Bissonnette off Spittin' Chicklets added that it isn't pond hockey, and he wants to see Bedard take his game to the NHL level and leave the pond hockey behind. Bedard, obviously frustrated, fired back, stating,
"I'm not watching broadcasts or anything, so I'm playing hockey. And, when their job is to say what they see. I couldn't really care less, to be honest, what people on the outside think of me or, us or whatever. But of course, I'm not going to be biased."
The exchange between the two obviously made some waves in the hockey community. Some came to the defense of Bedard, stating that Paul Bissonnette in particular has no ground to stand on when criticizing a player like Connor Bedard. But others came to his defense, stating that for Bissonnette to play in the NHL, effort could not be optional. He had to give everything he had on every single night and commit to the finer details of the game. The contrast between this season and last, though, just shows how frustrating things have gotten in Chicago for Bedard and fans alike. And what probably makes things even more intense is that the NHL now has another star rookie to cling on to. Really, from puck drop this season, Macklin Celebrini is a name that's been surfacing all around the NHL. Celebrini, who is also a first-round pick himself, has been unbelievable with San Jose this year. And the media's attention has seemed to shift from Bedard over to Celebrini in terms of the youngest faces of the NHL. Of course, this is completely deserved. Celebrini has been incredible. But it's somewhat shocking to see the media kind of leave Bedard in the shadows, considering how much attention he got over the last season and a half. Don't get me wrong, he's still getting plenty of time in the spotlight, but it's nothing like we saw just last season. And it's this sudden drop-off in attention that has me thinking people need to remember how good Connor Bedard really is. Despite the team's struggles, Bedard's potential as a franchise cornerstone is unmistakable. He's still a superstar player and still just a teenager. It's not like the results have been horrible. Bedard is putting up some decent point totals, especially on a team where no one else is nearly on his level offensively. So the responsibility now falls on the Blackhawks management to build around him, and that's something they've been trying to do. They were in on Jake Gensel last season before losing him to Tampa Bay, and it's no question that they're going to be big name hunting once again this year. This is something that's been emphasized by the GM Kyle Davidson, who said, "We're committed to building a sustainable contender, and Connor is obviously going to be a significant part of it. We'll ensure he has the support he needs to succeed." So all in all, it's just insane to see this side of Connor Bedard. For a guy who's been a superstar at every level of hockey he's ever played, it's so shocking to see him and his team struggling this much, and it's bringing out a side of him that we haven't seen in terms of frustrations. Is Bedard in the wrong? Is Bizanet or Messier in the wrong? Who really knows at the end of the day? It's not all that serious, it's just a couple guys firing back at each other. But let me know in the comments whose side you're on and what you think of Connor Bedard this season. Has this side of him changed your opinion on him whatsoever? Let me know below, and if you liked this video, leave it a like and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next one.